Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 24 career mode, and today it's round 2 at the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's our teammates home race as well as our engine manufacturer's home race. So we're going to try to impress Red Bull and hopefully score some points. We came close last race, we scored P12, and we of course had a few missed upgrades for that weekend that have came through for this weekend, although we do miss out on one gearbox upgrade. But that's just the story of this season so far. We have not had those upgrades come very quickly. We've had to re-spend a ton of R&D points this year. Hopefully that's not going to continue on, but first practice, we're going to try to gain as many points as we can to try to overcome that hurdle. And now we can move on to track acclimatization and get that program done as well, and get some extra R&D, all while we continue to dial in the setup before qualifying. And now at the end of the session, we can see how many R&D points we have, and it's honestly not that many.
A warm welcome, everybody, from a venue that has seen plenty of sensational laps over the years. Remember, Verstappen in 23, Vettel in 2019, some phenomenal pole laps. But whose will it be today?
So let's head into qualifying 1 and get a first benchmark as to where we are pace-wise. We haven't really done that many quick laps. We didn't do any soft tire running in practice, so this is really going to be the first benchmark that we have compared to everybody else. But one thing I am banking on, one thing I am expecting is that we get through into Q2 on one set of tires, and that is so crucial that we do so that in qualifying 2, we'll have 2 sets of fresh tires, so in qualifying 3, we can absolutely go ham. But Q3 is never a given, and qualifying 2 isn't even a given at the moment because we do not break into the top 10. It's only good enough for P11, but it's honestly should be good enough to get into qualifying 2. I don't think anybody else will improve that much, and especially not now as Esteban Ocon is into the barrier on the final run, and that brings out the red flag, and so nobody will be able to improve on their lap times. And that has gotten us into qualifying 2. I wouldn't necessarily say a stroke of luck, because I do think that we would have still gotten through on this set of tires. We probably would have improved about a 10th and comfortably gotten through. But that has meant that Yuki Tsunoda will start last. He was not able to set a lap time before the red flag came out, and he will start last for his home Grand Prix. So then we can move into qualifying 2 as the sole RB left in qualifying. And our first run is not good enough for qualifying 3. We just miss out on the top 10. So it all comes down to the second run in Q2. And we are right on the cusp of qualifying 3. We are flickering above our delta time. We're losing a bit of time through the first sector. We're trying to push it as much as we can, try to carry as much speed through every corner as we can. And we're down on our previous time. We're yellow. And this is the last chance that we have to get into qualifying 3. If we don't improve, then this is it. And we get all squirrely on the exit as we lose more and more time. And that is it. We are eliminated.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying. Come on.
No, Mark, we're out. We are out of qualifying. And at best, we will start P11. And a huge disappointment. Q3 was absolutely on the cards. The pace looked good, but we just couldn't hook it up. So we can now look at our driver ratings, and a huge amount of improvement goes to pace. So then, that pushes us into 67 overall. So we are already quickly moving up the rankings among RB.
We come to you live today from the Mie Prefecture in the south of Japan's Honshu Island for a race that has seen many title deciders over the years. Some simple, some controversial, but all contributing to a legacy that makes the Japanese Grand Prix an indispensable stop in any Formula One season. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Sainz, Norris, Russell, Stroll, the captain, Joe, Bottas, Albon, Gasly, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Leclerc, Sargent, and Yuki Tsunoda. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
So we are, after all, starting in the points. Charles Leclerc has a grid penalty, so that has already boosted our chances of points and gives us a good opportunity to move forward at the start of this Grand Prix. So for strategy, we're going to go for a one stop. We are looking at a soft to hard, but I don't know if the soft's going to make it that long. So we're going to go medium to hard. Pretty simple strategy. I think that this is better for tire wear. I'm not so confident in our tire wear. We don't have that many upgrades, so if we go a bit riskier with the soft to hard, I think tire wear might become a factor later on.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres.
So everybody in the top 12 is starting on the medium compound tires, but those people that are starting just outside the top 12 are looking to make up places at the start.
As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can.
So we can now get this race underway as we now look to the lights and they start to come on, and we have 5 red lights for the Japanese Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go, and we get away pretty decently. The Ferrari doesn't ahead. We get kind of boxed in there. As we head into turn 1, we're going to take the inside line, 3 abreast into turn 1, and we do have contact. Off we go, and off goes George Russell as well. We got sandwiched in the middle between Sainz and Russell. There was nothing we could have done, and we do have damage, and it all slows down as we have a full course safety car.
Yep, that's it. Brilliant.
And what a dramatic start here in Suzuka, as this race has now completely changed around strategy-wise, as we can now look at what happened, and we can see Carlos Sainz on the inside, and he just did not back out. We didn't back out. Russell didn't back out, and 3 into 1 doesn't go. And we have finally made it back into the pit lane to change our front wing, and we have a red flag. So that has gone awfully for us, and that will mean that we will start this Grand Prix restart from the back of the grid. I said that the strategy was out the window, but this has completely altered the rest of this Grand Prix for us. But we can once again go to 5 red lights, and it's lights out for the restart here in Suzuka. We get away decently well. We're already making up positions up the start to try to jump off the back of the grid as we begin to move past Logan Sargent, but he's still wheel to wheel with us. But now we go down the inside on the Haas of Nico Hülkenberg, and we do make that move stick as we now move up into P16, and we now look ahead of us to 2 cars in front of us. There's Magnussen and Leclerc. Round the outside we go. There's no room there. If we can make this move stick, what a move it'll be. It's still 3 abreast. We still hang it around the outside of Hülkenberg, and we move up into P14. What a move. And we can now look towards the Alpines in front of us, and we're already going down the inside of one of them. We get past Esteban Ocon, who crashed out in qualifying, as we're slowly clawing back these places. And we're about to put on the same move on Gasly that we did on Esteban Ocon, and we do get both Alpines into that hairpin. As we now look ahead to Oscar Piastri, moving past Fernando Alonso into turn 1. And now the 2 Alpines are trying to do the same thing to me, and they do before the braking zone even. And we have lost both positions back again to the Alpine boys. But crucially, the longer and longer that we fight with these back markers, the harder it will be to score points. And so it is crucial that we quickly get past both of these drivers. And now we're already looking to the outside, and we take the move round the outside of Esteban Ocon. We stuck a wheel in, and we managed to find space. Wow, what a move. And we can see a replay of the move, bold and committed. And here comes Fernando Alonso trying to retake the lead from Oscar Piastri, who took it on lap 5. And on lap 6, Fernando Alonso is back out in front. Piastri's having none of this, back to the inside, and re-overtakes the Aston Martin driver for the lead once more. And now we're back ahead of Pierre Gasly, as we make a move around the outside and get a tap from behind for good measure. And hopefully now we can start making some progress towards the kick Sauber. Fernando Alonso is looking to the inside through 130 yard. They're wheel to wheel still. Oscar Piastri giving him just enough space. And he's got the inside and stays ahead of Fernando Alonso. What a battle this is. Neither driver willing to back out, but both drivers giving each other tons of respect. And now Alonso's under pressure with Sainz, who moves ahead into second position. Sainz fancies a look at the lead from the McLaren to the inside, and he does manage to take the lead. The Spaniard is in front. As we head onto the dying laps of this Japanese Grand Prix, the rain is starting to fall harder and harder, and we are all on slick tires. This is going to get very, very slippy all the way to the end, and all we got to do is just keep it on track. And and we almost lose it, but we just managed to keep it in a straight line. And now we head onto the final lap, and this is Oscar Piastri's final chance to get past Carlos Sainz. As it's getting more and more slippery, it's getting harder and harder to find grip behind the spray of the Ferrari. Piastri has put up a great fight, but I don't think that he will be able to win this Grand Prix with how the conditions are turning out. He needs a miracle, he needs a mistake from Carlos Sainz, but at the moment, it doesn't look like it's going to come. Carlos Sainz is very cool-headed, and it is all calm in the Ferrari garage as they see their man heading towards a fourth victory in Formula One. Heading around the final corner to complete a dry to wet absolute thriller here in Suzuka, Carlos Sainz wins the Japanese Grand Prix and takes his fourth victory in his Formula One career. Oscar Piastri put up a good fight.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or looked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they're able to do today.
What they're doing out there.
So, after Japan, still no points. But the positives to take away from this weekend is our car does have pace in it. And honestly, the upgrades are working. The car does feel better in wheel-to-wheel combat. And our race wasn't all too bad, all things considered, after lap 1. And our ratings reflect that. We moved to nearly 68 overall, but we still have about a quarter of that chunk left. And now we can move on to our teammate rivalry against Yuki Tsunoda. And he had a really bad race in Suzuka at his home Grand Prix. So that recognition is getting closer and closer to 50-50. And that is good news for us as we try to get the attention of the Red Bull camp. But first and foremost, we need to start scoring points to get any attention at all. That's the main key, is how many points we can score over Yuki Tsunoda. And early on in the season, it's looking like it's very, very tough to score points. So we need to absolutely take advantage of every opportunity that we get coming to us. And now we head back to our house and we look to see a secret meeting. And this could be our chance to get into Red Bull Racing if they are the ones that are interested in us. But that we will leave for the next episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.